Hello and welcome to Saved, Not Scammed, where we expose manipulation, uplift our truth, and where we always remember, baby Jesus didn't need an upline, so neither do we. My name is Kayla, and I am a self-proclaimed baby Christian. That means I do cover religion on this channel as it pertains to faith manipulation within multi-level marketing business structures. Ooh, that's a mouthful. But I spent over a decade watching anti-MLM content, and within that space, I saw a myriad of MLM Huns saying that God has called you to make this money by manipulating your friends and family and scamming them out of hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And I didn't like it, especially when they used scripture and faith manipulation tactics in order to recruit or maintain the individuals that they had. Not okay in my book. So what I like to do on this channel is add a little scripture, add a lot of facts, and just blind react a lot of the times to a lot of content that is put out there by public figures onto the World Wide Web so that they can continue getting rich and rich and richer off the backs of hundreds, if not thousands, of amazing people doing their best to just try and create a better life for themselves. Without further ado, today we are covering Ivy Carnegie. She is at the tippity top of Monat her care. If you have watched my channels before, you know normally I don't have emo bangs. I don't know what they were doing, okay, but here we are today. This video will be one that you remember. Just kidding, probably not. But Ivy Carnegie's Instagram bio reads, Jesus follower, wife, mother, helping women stay home with their babies, thrift obsessed, avid declutterer. She tags two of some other junk she's got. She's got a link tree. So I was introduced to Ivy Carnegie by the Instagram account MLM Unmasked. Highly recommend you go follow their Instagram account. I'm gigging, I'm gagging, I am having so much fun looking at their content. But most important, on top of the humor that we add into this, what is the root of all anti-MLM creators, all anti-scam creators? It is consumer protection. It is the fact that we don't think it's okay that anyone be scammed out of their money. And scams look a lot of different ways. There is no one scam. I've been scammed before. In fact, I was scammed kind of recently. MLMs have really mastered the art of masquerading as something that is so amazing, especially for women, when it's not. It has a proven track record, not just with one company, not just with two. FTC did research on 600 companies. Now, scrolling through her page, I found quite a few times where she's doing like little calls with her downline, where she is talking to them about the opportunity. So we're going to do a blind reaction to one of those today. Let's watch some Monat girlies chitty chat about the business opportunity, shall we?
Anyways, well, I'm so excited to chat with you. You guys, if you're on here and you're watching this, okay, and you have any excuse not to join this business, this girl has 5 kids. She's in another country, okay? And she's still able to do this business, all right? So if you guys are on here and you're thinking all the things like we all think, oh, I can't do it, I don't have enough time, I don't know all the things. No. You can do this. Stacey is
Wow, right off the bat, we have some manipulation. And a lot of times during these conversations, these people may not, or may, who knows, but intend on being manipulative with that. But if you're telling someone that based off of solely the number of kids that they have and their location, that someone else with less kids, more kids, etc., has the capacity to do this, it is so deceptive and is so incorrect, because I don't care if someone has 0 children. That doesn't mean that their life isn't more difficult, more busy, more time consuming, whatever, than mine. Everyone is different and everyone has a different scenario. And even her cohort, her name is Amanda, her caption says, 9 kids and nearly $3 million in commission between us. Here's how you can do it too. based off of the business structure and the compensation plan payout, that $3 million is primarily going to the upline. And I would venture to say that a majority of that $3 million is purchased by reps themselves. Purchasing starter kits, purchasing the latest and greatest, being a product of the product, etc. Let's let them continue.
House in Nelly Ranch. I actually told her, what was it, like 3 months ago? I was like, you need to start looking there.
Yeah, no, literally, Ivy sent me. So, okay, let's back up. How did we get here?
Yes. Sorry.
Let's rewind.
I missed you. I feel like we're catching up. Go on.
I know, because we are. Because this is how we talk. Like, we just, you guys are watching us, like, catch up and have a candid conversation. Because my kids are sleeping. It's just, this is when we talk.
Yes.
So, over 4 years ago, we met at the park, right? And I had followed you on Instagram on my stalker Instagram account, which you almost blocked me from. Because you guys know those accounts who watch you. No,
didn't really have any posts. She had like 4, maybe 5 posts. I wish I had a screenshot of like my view of her account at the time because there was like 5 posts, no profile picture. And I remember her telling me like, this is me. And I'm like, no, it's not. I literally almost blocked you. And she's like, no, this is my account. I'm like, ooh, who are you, weirdo? Anyways, go on.
I felt so embarrassed. I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl's so cute. I actually like her, but she's an influencer. She'll never see me. Like, I don't know. I just feel like.
Wow. There's a lot to unpack there. First off, being shamed for what you display on your social media or feeling shame for what you display on social media is just an insane concept. Your social media is a reflection of whatever the heck you want it to be. And of course, I'm sure since her 5 posts that didn't even look like a person that almost got blocked, it is now nothing but curated posts that are, sprinkling in the Monat, join me, etc. This is a great opportunity. And it's no longer this simplistic 5. Is one better than the other? That's not up for me. That's up for each person. Do you want to create? Do you want to consume? Do you want to do both? It doesn't matter. But the shame that she had when she said she was so embarrassed, that just like broke my heart. Because if someone has just a couple of pictures, I'm like, girl, do you, Bookie? Like, why would that bring someone shame? I don't know. It just makes no sense. Number 2, we have this pedestal of not only uplines, but also influencers, anyone that creates content. When the fact of the matter is, we're all people. An influencer is a person who wipes their tushy just like everyone else. They're not better. They're not something so special. And guess what? They have friends too. If someone ever did measure whether or not they would be friends with someone because they had a different following amount or they weren't an influencer as well, that just goes to show you the type of person that it is, because people are not the followers that they have. They're not the content that they create. There's so much more to people that they put out into the world other than followers and things like that. But the fact that she has this desire to get close to her because she's so awesome and an influencer shows that there is a difference in power here. Whether she realizes it or not, she is putting this person on a pedestal. When in all actuality, Ivy is just like any other person. There's nothing special about her, me, nobody. We're all God's children, okay? We're all just farting around doing the best we can. But I'm interested to see how this plays out.
Like, influencers are kind of put on a pedestal almost. I feel like today it's a little bit different. I don't know, maybe, but like back then, over 4 years ago, I was like, oh, she's an influencer. Like, this midwife, I know that midwife, your husband's in the Marine Corps. Mine was like, you guys, there were so many things that we already connected on to where it was like, I love this girl. Like, this girl doesn't know who I am. She doesn't know I exist, but I love this girl. And I want to be friends with her. And we're just talking, whatever, about random things. And you flip my hair and you're like, you need to sell shampoo with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, in my head, I was like, this girl's good. Like, I literally have been watching her. I want to do this business so badly. But again, the social media was such a big objection for me to overcome. Like, in my mind, it just felt like you had an influence and I didn't, and that was that.
Yeah.
Like, it was like this thing to where it was like, either you have it or you don't. Of course, you're successful, you have influence. Of course, you're doing great, right? But what about me? What about like someone like me? And you're like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you built your social. You guys, people who built their social medias at one point, they were at zero. You had zero posts. You had zero customers. You had zero. Like, I feel like that's so hard for people to understand because we.
So, yes, that's absolutely true, right? Everyone starts at zero, but there's a couple of factors that we have to be really honest about that get involved when someone becomes a large influencer. Number one, they got in early. Now the market is extremely saturated, right? Finding this little video, hi, thanks for watching. You rock. Subscribe if you want to. No problem if you don't want to click the bell icon. Protect that peace, girly pop. Don't get notifications on. I'm not a big notification girly. But the market now is so incredibly saturated. I don't know who exposed it. I think it was the guy who says, come with me. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Come with me as I go. He makes satirical content about influencers just doing too much. And this one influencer had like 1,000 followers, which 1,000 people, if you put 1,000 people in a room, that's insane. That is a crazy amount of people. And the fact that they clicked on you and said, I want to see more of your content is absolutely amazing and beautiful. However, when you compare that to larger influencers, I wouldn't per se call that someone who has a large influence in the grand scheme of how many people are out there in the entire world. 1,000 people's a lot, but are you really having an influence? That's what that word's supposed to per se mean. At least that's what I think it's supposed to mean. Anyway, this guy was being a sassafras and he only had 1,000. Once again, 1,000's a lot, but also when you're talking about and calling yourself an influencer, it's a little much, with 1,000 subscribers or with 1,000 followers. This was an Instagram one. So they've got in early, right? And they've had time, lots and lots of time. It takes time. So you've got the time aspect on there. Someone who's been in it longer absolutely has a better opportunity of having and maintaining and growing their influence because they already have a large following. In addition, there are things such as pretty privilege. There are things such as being rich, such as personality. There are so many factors that go in. And just saying that you can start anywhere because you have zero posts doesn't mean anything. Yes, we all start somewhere. Just because an entrepreneur starts a brand new brick and mortar business, is there a clientele in the area? Are they offering something unique? Is it something that they're willing to work at for a long period of time consistently? There are so many more factors involved. So let's let her continue. But I just want to make that clear that just because all influencers start at zero doesn't mean that there are huge advantages at play that we need to be cognizant of.
We all started at zero. And so, anyway, I told you no. I was like, no, we're going to move into an RV. And I don't even know, you guys. I don't know that girl.
Yeah, she was like, oh, I've tried it, but, that's not really for me. We're moving into an RV. We're selling all of our stuff. We're going to save money this way. Let me get my little dude.
I'm going to do my best to cut out the baby noises, even though they are absolutely adorable. I love me some baby noises. However, what we find often in these posts, because they are advertising this as something that you can do at home, is that constantly we do have sweet little ones being interrupters. Where I have an issue, and Chelsea Suarez brought up a great point, when they're babies, they kind of all look the same, but once they get older, when you start putting their face out there, I do have a problem, especially when it's combined with advertisement. Ivy does seem to be putting out lifestyle content that does show the face of her children, and I think nowadays too, with the use of AI and with people putting influencers on a pedestal, it is concerning to put minors who don't have the ability to make informed consent onto the World Wide Web. That is just my personal opinion. I think that there's a right way to do it when you want to share with your friends and family, but when you have 144,000 sets of eyeballs looking at you, I personally would never want my child's face or likeness to be something that is accessible to the public. Personal opinion.
Get the baby. I was telling her you guys, we had a ton of credit card debt, and not because we were going on vacation or we were buying things. Like, It was literally just living. It was 2020. We were in Southern California. My husband is in the military. His check is, he's salaried, right? And so I was like, why this check used to last us the whole entire month. And then it was honestly like overnight. It was like, what? Everything's double. Everything's but double. And we need credit cards in order to just buy groceries.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to sell shampoo. Actually, what I'm going to do is sell everything in my home with my 2 children under 2. We're going to move into an RV and it's going to be great. And that's how I'm going to get rich.
Yeah. And I remember, I'll never forget, we were sitting at the beach with the kids. Like, we still hung out, even though she said she didn't want to sell shampoo with me. That was fine. Like, we had so much in common. Our kids were the same ages at the time. Like, just, you know, we had a lot, we thought a lot of the same way. We parented a lot of the same way. So it was really refreshing. Anyways, we were at the beach one time and she was like, we were just talking about stuff. And I'm like, so how much do you have in savings? And she told me, and then she told me like how much debt they had between their car and their credit cards. And it was one of those moments where I guess as a grandma, I'm expecting I'm going to be here thinking this way with my kids when my kids have kids. But I was like, okay, Ivy, just keep your mouth shut, walk away from this. Like, do not make a facial expression. Do not say anything. And I just remember God in that moment said, Ivy, this one's yours. This is yours. This is yours to help her. This is yours. This is your job. This is your task right now. You have to help her. And I'll never forget it. I know exactly.
Wow. So she was very vulnerable, and I had actually shared on the last video that I made that I have helped quite a few people with their getting out of debt or creating a finance plan to get out of debt. And I've never ever charged anyone for it. It was something that I felt very, not only strongly about, as in, I don't think that anyone should be living paycheck to paycheck. I don't think anyone should have that fear of, can I afford, a medical event if it occurs. That's just something that has always been something that I want and enjoy helping out with people. And my brain really likes numbers. I love numbers. I love figuring out that kind of stuff. However, when I hear this to me sounds like she got a ding, 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 something that I can use as a sales opportunity, because ultimately she asked her if she really wanted to zip it. She would have never asked her the question in the first place. So she's saying very clearly that God is telling her that this is the one. Now, if someone tells me that they're in debt and their debt to savings ratio is something at which I have that reaction to, my first thought would not be, let me have her join something that I know 99% of participants are going to make no money in. They're going to make no money, not a livable wage. Once their expenses and revenue are calculated in, they're going to be in the red. That's not something that would pop off the top of my mind. Ivy's skill set is only a very small, minute role to play in the success inside of a multi-level marketing structure. It has a lot to do, in addition, with how soon they got in, has a lot to do with the market saturation when they originally got in, and of course, their ability to persuade, my opinion, manipulate other people into joining their scheme. So something in sales that you do is you do ask open-ended questions, or questions in general, to gather information to help determine not only the solution for them, but also to help you overcome objections in the future. You told me that you needed help with X, Y, and Z, and I'm offering you a product that can do that. That moment of, I've got a piece of knowledge, an intimate, vulnerable piece of knowledge that I asked of her and she openly shared, I am now going to use as a means and say that it was God. Whether or not it was God or not, that's not my prerogative here. I do want to make it clear that multi-level marketing business structures, the way that they take advantage of the vulnerable, the way that they encourage lying, deception, the way that they do not pay fair and appropriate wages for people working, All of those things and many more. I have an entire list full of them on one of my TikTok posts. But that leads me to believe when you look at the holy word, that big old thick baby, and say, MLMs are antithetical to Christian beliefs. And I do have a hard time saying, was that God really saying this is a great one for you to sell your crappy opportunity to? Or does it make me think that she might be mistaking potentially her genius idea, her little boop, I've got a good sales pitch right ahead of me. This is going to seal the deal. She's been saying no for a while. Finally, I'm going to get her with this one because now I know this intimate knowledge about her personal finances, and I'm going to use that as a tool to get her to join my pyramid scheme. So, once again, not for me to determine who's talking to who, if the big dog is having a little chitty chat session, but I do think you can go throughout the entire Bible, all of its stories, all of its lessons learned, and show consistently its values do not align with MLMs as a whole and what they perpetuate within them from their reps' behaviors.
Where I was walking on the beach, like exactly where my feet were in the sand when I heard God say you have to help her. And I'm like, okay, okay, I'm going to help this one with her.
You're like, I don't really have great cards. She has nothing in her home. She has no social media experience.
Yeah.
But I think, I was really willing, right?
Yeah.
Like after I finally just got over, it was so much. It wasn't just like, oh, I don't have social media. It was, how am I actually going to do this? Like my ego was like, okay, if I do something, I excel, and it doesn't make any sense why someone like me would succeed, right? Mm-hmm. Nowadays, we see people start social media, blow up, they're doing great, they build their brand, right? But I feel like 4 years ago, it was like, ew, what are you doing? Like, why are you on social media? Why are you posting like that?
What's so funny is that we also had a comment from someone who was in Monat and then went into pharmacy because Monat is going downhill and going downhill fast. Make a similar comment about how no matter what, it's seen as weird when you put yourself out there because there is an element of nobody's watching. When I first made content, which was less than a year ago, I'm like, I would be so happy if my mom and my husband watched and said, good job. Good job. But it is awkward. It is funky because ultimately, initially, nobody's looking at your content, but you still kind of have to have that air of you are talking to people when you really aren't talking to anyone. Now I have all of your names in my head. I'm like, I hope that Kate sees this. I hope that Ella likes this video. I hope that Sarah sees it. Oh, I haven't heard from Monica in a while. Like all of these things are things that I notice, and we have a flippin' blast in the comment section. So thank you so much for not only being encouraging and amazing, but also engaging in these like really thought-provoking conversations. I always get so excited when I post, mainly because I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see the comments. They really are combos at this point, and it's so much fun. However, no matter when you start, whether it was 4 years ago, 10 years ago, etc., it feels funky, and that's just how it is. Okay, we are putting on a hater because I am freezing. Let's let him continue.
It was like not as normal as it is today. And so it not only was like, I don't have a following, it was like my ego. And like, well, what if it's fail? Like I have a degree from a good university and I had this internship in DC. Like it was so much, like there was so much that I was so resistant to it. And then I'm just like literally sending some voice notes crying at the end of August with my husband. We don't have mental freedom in the military. And I remember being so mad at myself. And I was like, if I started money when I felt the pull to over a year ago, where would my family be now? And would we have had the option to do something potentially different? Right? Like that was a turning point for me, at least before I joined. And I joined September 15th. My husband did not want me to do it. He begrudgingly let me do it. He wanted me to return my product back. And I'm like, I love you, but no.
Saying your husband let you do it is a really big red flag because ultimately my idea of relationships is a partnership, right? In addition to that, this is something that we often see is that someone in the family, whether it's the spouse or whether it's sister, mother, whoever, is saying, please don't do this, this is not good. And what ends up happening, and this is going back to even one of the very first videos, is that the MLM rep said that if someone's not supportive of you, like, don't have them in your circle, even if it's your spouse. And I was just shooked by that, especially when this person is claiming to be Christian. When there are people who genuinely care about you as a person and also have a vested interest in your personal finances, like the person who shares money with you, then their thoughts and their concerns matter. And it's not them being a hater, it's them being worried, concerned, etc. I'm sure there may be some situations when the spouse is being a hater and is being inappropriate and is not being supportive of certain things. I don't want to take away from that, because there are relationships like that in which that dynamic isn't as collaborative and kind and respectful. However, for the majority of relationships where it is a partnership, I would see that as a big red flag. Not only that he let you, but also that he had concerns, and also what that does to the relationship, because we have seen time and time and time again where it ends up being detrimental for the relationship, because either the spouse realizes that their expenses far outweigh their revenue and no longer want to support it, but the person has been so brainwashed, to be quite frank, that they now think that because that person is seeing facts and saying, I know that this is something that you love to do and you wanted it to be something that helped out our family, but when you look at the facts and when you look at your bottom line, it's not helping out the family, and I don't want to continue doing this. But they're brainwashed by their upline to think that that person is a hater, and that's not always the case. Let's let it continue.
Yeah.
Just trust me. You're going to thank me soon for this. Yeah. And it just, fast forward 4 years, almost I'm sure I'm at $350,000 in commissions now, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, now I'm looking at horse barns in Southern California, homes with horse stables to potentially buy for my family if we come back to the U.S. when, I don't know, but I know that God's put that on my heart. And when I joined, it's just, it's crazy, Ivy, because that's not why I joined. Yeah. That's not why I joined. But now it's like, this all had, I moved to Peru. I got into horseback. Like, all these things had to happen in order for me to get here now, you know?
Yeah, I do. The thing is, too, you guys, is when she joined, I never doubted her for a second. When she didn't have a social media, I'm like, so what? Well, we're going to build it. This is what we're going to do. Like, this is what we're going to do. Like, I literally, in my mind, I was like, this is just a project. We just got to list it off and check. Like, she had the right mindset and the drive that nothing else mattered. And then God's like, here's twins. Let me give you twins on top of this. And
per usual, there is this focus on mindset, this kind of hustle culture in which, regardless of if you have twins, regardless of what you have going on in your life, you need to keep going. There's not a lot of room for space and rest and understanding that businesses such as these, and don't get me wrong, a 9 to 5 you gotta go to every single day, regardless of what's going on in your life. But when you put yourself out there to be very vulnerable, when you put yourself out there to have these conversations and be accessible and available at honestly all hours of the day, this kind of work can sometimes be more exhausting than a 9 to 5, in which you can just leave it at the office building, leave it at your computer, leave it wherever it is, and then move on. And to me, that's something that is rarely addressed, is the mental load and the exhaustion level that these individuals have to go through in order for most of the time to not make a lot of money at all, if any.
Then let me move you, and let me move you to a new country, and let me do this, and let me do that. And you guys, she never wavered. Now she has a expanding, exploding international team, okay? And it's because of her confidence and her consistency, no matter what was going on in her life, no matter what was happening. And I just want to encourage you, if there's anyone on here, if there's anyone watching, and you're thinking about joining, and you have these doubts, and you're like, I don't have this, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, you guys. If you're someone that's like, oh, I don't have a house to host parties or get together, you guys, she was on a military base. Okay. You had to literally, she had to come down.
Once again, these manipulation tactics are not so on the nose that we can say, like, clearly that person is, totally being a manipulator. No, it's very, cutesy. It's very dressed up in something nicer and prettier and motivating, if you will, instead of manipulating. But when someone says that this person is so successful and doing amazing and was incredible because they were unwavering, it can allude to the fact that if you are wavering at all, if you're struggling at all, that you are then going to be at fault for not being successful.
Get in her car, okay? Drive down, literally drive you up to base. Like, it was not a convenient situation. And yet, look at her now. I mean, her checks are absolutely insane. Okay. Yeah. 5 kids later, and her checks are absolutely insane. Like, I'm just.
My husband did not think that I was going to make any money. He was all the things, right? Like, no one makes money. People at the top, blah, 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 the car, all these things, right? And it's like my check that I got yesterday was 3 times the amount of what my husband makes. He goes to work full time, you guys. And his job has moved us, I don't know, 6 or 7 times in the past 7. Like, just, we've moved so much, right? Yeah. But again, it just, every time, everything I go through, Ivy, it reinforces how this business is the best. Not only this business, this company. Like, there's a lot of direct sales companies out there, right? We're the only one on TikTok Shop. We're the only company that is literally.
Can we take a moment to ask TikTok, hey, TikTok, just wondering, asking for a friend, why in the heck you allow multi-level marketing products to be sold on your site when, not too long ago, you had it in your terms and conditions that these individuals couldn't even go on there and recruit. But now, their product is available. It's absolutely insane to me. TikTok is one of the most hypocritical girlies I have ever possibly met. It likes to show things that are not okay, not show things that are totally fine. I can't with TikTok. It pisses me off, just to be honest with you. The fact that they can boast about it. Now, don't get me wrong. I have seen some crazy stuff on TikTok Shop. It is not that exciting to be on TikTok Shop, to be honest. In fact, any small business can go on and create a business account. And if you have a tax ID number and, some other information, you can go selling on TikTok Shop most of the time. So yeah, TikTok, what are you doing? What are you doing? We're not vibing right now. I'm not vibing on the TikTokies, okay?
Has added another stream of revenue for the partners, for the business partners. I mean, there are women, like, we're coming on the TikTok train, okay? Like, we're getting there. But there are women that have added $20,000+ to their check just because we integrated into TikTok Shop.
Yes.
And honestly, the moment that it got brought into TikTok, it made me immediately think they're prepping to get rid of their MLM business structure and they're going to go direct to customers. They are going to not pay. I was actually putting it on ChatGPT and it says, some official posts claim Monat pays out 51% of every dollar earned to market partners on commissions and bonuses. I mean, 51%, you have to compare that to a marketing team. You have to compare that to celebrity endorsements, etc. What is more successful at the time? Well, when it really gets to be more successful is when the lawsuits start coming in and people start going, hey, your focus is on recruitment. It's not on just the products. And thus it falls under a pyramid scheme. And a large enough case is brought to the FTC and they start getting into some hot water. And that's when the cost analysis goes from it's totally fine to allegedly pay out 51% of every dollar made to market partners versus let's pay it out to our employees in our marketing department and maybe other endorsements from affiliate sales to affiliate commissions to, doing brand partnerships, etc. Ones where, once again, you're not being sold a dream that if you buy into this business opportunity, you're going to become a millionaire. Now, we don't know her finances. We don't know how accurate it is. We don't know her 3 times, 6 times, whatever she said. We don't know the accuracy of any of that. We have no facts to back it up. So I'm going to go off the fact that she is not lying. I'm going to assume that she's being honest. I'm happy for her. I would never want a person with 5 kiddos, a 7-person household, to be struggling financially, for them not to have an investment be successful for them. That is not my intention ever. But what is not okay, that for 99 participants in Amanda's downline, they are not successful. They are not making money. They are not making multiple times their husband's wage or whatever the heck. They are not accomplishing that. So I'm glad, Amanda, that it worked out for you, that you were able to get in 5 years ago, right when the pandemic hit, that you had a friend who was willing to help you kind of get that going and started. She's pretty privileged. She's got beautiful kids. Traveling is such a huge thing when it comes to social media. So being able to put that out there, whether it be going to another country or just RV in general, that is something in addition that attracts a lot of viewers onto social media that not everyone can do. I know I can't pick up and move to another city, another country, etc. But it's just information to notate as to why she may have been successful and why someone else may not have the same opportunities as her to be successful in that framework.
From TikTok Shop, you guys, we are the only one on there, okay? We're the only one on there. We are the only direct sales company on there. All right. Like if you're on here and you're thinking about jumping in, possibly adding a stream of income, I'm telling you, Lonnie is the best.
Yeah. Oh, my point. Let's circle back to what I was trying to say here.
Okay.
I've gone through so much, right? I've had twins. I went from 2 kids to 4 kids. I hit the car right when I had 4 under 4. You guys, you don't ask me how I did it because I'm just going to say God. Literally, I look back, and even Hunter to me, he's like, "How did you do that?" I'm like, God, coffee, some green juice, some beef liquor at the time. Obedience.
You are the epitome of what can I do? You always ask the question of what can I do? You might not be able to do a lot of things in that season. You weren't able to do a lot of things, but what can you do? Same thing in Peru. Okay. You're in Peru. You're away from it. Monat's not in Peru, but guess where we are? We are in the US. Guess where the US is? They're online. We're in Germany. We're in Australia. Guess where Amanda is? She's online. She's showing up right now when her kids are asleep. Like it's how you do this business. Like you are the epitome of that. Like you literally are the definition of that, of what can I do? That's how you did it.
And it's just like, even in all of those seasons, you guys, having kids, having 4 under 4, moving overseas, right? Dealing with so many personal things, right? Life things. What was I still doing at that time? I was washing my hair. Mm-hmm. I never had to like pretend to be somebody to promote the business or promote the products. And I think that's where a lot of people have a problem, right? Like they join a business, they whatever. And listen, I love my supplements. I love them, I do. But I'm far from consistent with them. And so not only am I in the craziest season of my life, arguably, right? Mm-hmm. I am still reaching for our products every day, every other day, at least once a week, right? And that means our customers are too. And when they run out, they repurchase. And so it's just like this beautiful, like symphony almost, like this business, I feel like, where everything just makes sense and everything goes together and it creates this beautiful business for us. Like,
there are pros and cons to consumable goods. There is the fact of you do have to repurchase that thing. And when the consumable good is something that you would use on a day-to-day basis, it definitely is going to lend to their success. However, that also means that you have a large amount of competition. You've got a large saturation in the marketplace of other amazing shampoo places, now they have like cosmetics and all kinds of crap. There's tons of competition in addition to that. And we're creatures of instant gratification, having to wait for these products, etc. That can be something that a lot of people don't want to do. So, yes, great that it's consumable good that you use on a consistent basis. Bad that that consumable good is something that's been around for a real long time. Okay? And something that lots of people don't mind just going to the grocery store and grabbing up a little bottle. Okay?
I literally do the fun part of going live on Instagram
Yeah.
talking about the business, talking about the products, talking about what's happening, and we don't have to do a darn thing in terms of product development,
Nothing.
attorneys, the website. Like,
as far as product development, like we get to try it. We get to use it. We get to become experts of it. We get to smell it. We get to get it on sale. Like that's our product development. But you're right. Like website development. Any glitches, guys? Guess what? We're not. And I was actually just talking about this point yesterday because I had this memory pop up on Facebook of me and my husband on one of our anniversaries. This was 8 years ago. We were in our tiny little apartment. It was in our anniversary. We were getting ready to walk out the door to go to dinner for our anniversary, and we get a call from our employee that our website was down. And there was nothing that we could do. It wasn't something my employees could be doing at the time. It was something that we had to do. So we literally are sitting on the floor with our dog at the time. Our computer's out, got it open. I'm calling GoDaddy. They're calling our domain people. We're trying to get it pointed over here. We're trying to figure out what happened, what went wrong, where the glitch was, because our customers couldn't get in. They couldn't see their orders. They couldn't track their orders. Nothing was happening. And it was like, I was that person. Me and my husband were those people. Like there was no one else. With Monat, there's an entire team of people.
So once again, they're saying just the part that's convenient for them. I mean, if I talked about just stuff that was convenient for me all day long, life would just sound like an absolute dream. But once again, let's be honest, let's provide facts. That yes, there are attorneys and there are marketing team and there's product development and there's all those things. That also means that they can drop you like that if they want to. That means that the direction that they go, whether they want to go affiliate or they want to stick with the MLM, is not your decision to make. Do they mean to be manipulative? That's not the point of it. The point is that the tactics in which you are omitting valuable and important information for the normal consumer, because who is this video made for? It's made for a consumer. It's made for someone who, you can do it too. How many times has she been like, do you think you have an excuse? We know who the audience is, but she is omitting important and valuable facts that would help someone make an educated decision on whether or not they want to join. These girly pops, they can just go haywire. They can go all around town because they're a 1099 contractor. There is no boss per se. I know they like to say that they're their own boss, but they don't have a direct boss that is holding them accountable for having these specific actions, staying true to what's necessary in terms of their terms and conditions, not having income claims, etc. Even her just saying the 3 times, 6 times her husband's full-time salary can be considered an income claim. But is she going to get in trouble? Are they going to remove this? No, it was from December 16th. They would have probably already removed it if it was an issue. But that can still be seen as an income claim. Right? They're not held accountable in the same way an employee is. And because of that, the professionalism is not there. Sorry.
Right? We just have to know
departments. There's departments. There's like
whole departments. Legal. We don't have to deal with anything legal. Like how refreshing as a mom. Like I don't have to deal with the heavy stuff. Products come and if something's leaking or something, guess what? We have a entire customer service that's going to reship them a new bottle. We're not shipping out bottles. We're not going to the ship center. We're not going to the post office. We're not doing those things. We're literally making content and sharing it. And you guys, there's women in this business that have made $17 million, $15 million, $10 million. Like it's absolutely crazy. I mean,
So that's 3 people, Ivy. 3 people. And based off of the fact that they most likely have been in for the last, 20 plus years, and based off the fact that you're probably only giving commissionable sales, they most likely only made 15 to 30% of that. 15% is the amount that they get paid out for VIP customers and 30 for non-VIP. But most of the time, consumers are VIP customers. So if you look at those top 3%, most likely 15 to 20,000. So they're making $150,000 a year roughly, and that's not including all of their expenses. So once you include their expenses, once you include their taxes, which they're not having being taken out because they're 1099 contractors, now you're getting closer to just basic 6 figures, $100,000. That is a good amount. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. Wonderful. Love that. But number 1, how many people again, Ivy? A handful versus the literal hundreds of thousands that have been market partners before in Monat's history who have tried with all their heart, without wavering, with saying, I'm a yes person. Yes, what can I do? All of that stuff, they are doing that and they still fail because of market saturation. Because people know that pyramid schemes have such a bad failure rate that they do not want to join. Because of product market saturation. All of these different factors. So they say these big things, these 17, these 15,000, but once again, they're not giving us full concrete evidentiary information in which we can make real conclusions from. Instead, they're just whipping out things left, right, and sideways and hoping and praying that she'll be their next market partner. No thanks.
I'm at 2.5 now. Like, it's wild.
I mean, and that's not
That baby's
even
so
with
cute.
too, Ivy. Like, that's not with TikTok Shop.
No.
That's not with Germany, Austria, launching in Panama, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic. We have, the IR hair supplement now. Like, we have the Bondi Q line. We have like, there is so much that we have now that the people who have, made tens of millions of dollars in this business that they didn't have when they started their business, that they didn't have when they're in the first several years of their business. And I feel like we're like totally ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
In terms of people who are successful, right? Like, that's going to compound and just exponentially like skyrocket. And that's how I feel right now in this company. I'm like, I'm literally on a rocket ship. We're about to take off. Everything's shaking. We're buckling up. We're making sure, like, we got our life vest and our mask on. Just
now, for me personally, I don't think that having additional products really leans into the validity and the credibility of your company. I think that when you go onto their website and they're selling everything from makeup to supplements, that is questionable. And we've talked about this before on this channel. Most brands, even if they have a parent brand or whatever, they're very consistently sticking just with their core products. And if they want to create something different, they're making a whole different brand, or they're buying something that already exists and putting that under their parent company, etc. And the reason why they do that is there's so much to be said for brand imagery, so much to be said for not confusing products together, for decision fatigue within consumers. If there's so many products out there, in fact, one of the Monat to Pharmacy Hunt, I was just thinking about her and how she was saying that people were struggling because there are so many products that she was like, you just have to pick 5 and go with them. But it's like, what 5? There's so much crap now, on your site. Where's the Holy Grail product? In and Out, I'm a Northern California girl. Their menu is simplistic because they do it well. They do it with quality. And every time you get your double animal style with animal style fries, that sounds so good. Oh gosh, I'm hungry. You know that you're going to get a quality product. Once they start adding all these things, they're leaving themselves up for lawsuits, or leaving themselves up for decision fatigue. And I think that because of the fact that they had such success at the beginning with their main, flagship products, and now they're going off on all these tangents, that shows that we're at a life cycle in the MLM in which this is something that they need to do in order to get more and more money from their current reps, because the normal, natural recruitment of representatives is happening at a far slower rate than it was, for example, in the 2020s or before that. So now that they've got this lower recruitment, they're not recruiting as many people. This is all allegedly. Everything said in this video is, of course, my own opinion. Now what they're doing is they're coming out with all this stuff in order to get their reps to continue purchasing, because the company still needs a flow of money coming in. Typically with MLMs, that flow is literally requiring that lower portion of it. Because of the downline structure, you will always have people at the bottom, and the people at the bottom will always be a lot larger than the people at the top. And the people at the bottom, because they don't have a downline, will always be making less money. So anyone who's like, it's not the structure, literally tell me how an MLM exists without having a large bottom section of downline individuals that don't have a downline underneath them, that are only giving money to the company and not yet getting anything in return. And thus, you have created your pyramid. Anyway, off on many tangents. Let's continue.
Yes.
It's insane. I
It
don't
is.
know how else to describe it, honestly.
Yeah. And you guys, if you're on here, listen, I'm trying to think of the things that would like hold me back. There's no monthly fee, there's no monthly minimum, there's no monthly order requirement. Okay? If your life gets crazy, if you're currently committed to something else, maybe you have your own other business right now. Maybe you are pregnant and you don't know, what's to come. Maybe you are gonna have, whatever, you're gonna be homeschooling your kids and you just don't know how you're gonna handle that. You guys, there's no monthly fee, no monthly minimum, no monthly order.
She says that, but then 5 minutes ago she was saying how important it is essentially to be unwavering like Amanda. But now she's like, oh, but it's so easy and you don't have to worry about it if life gets crazy. When she just talked about how crazy Amanda's life gotten and how she never stopped and how she kept asking what she can do. This is one of those many times where the hypocrisies in what they're saying is so blatant it's on the exact same phone call.
Jump in, do what you can do when you can, right? Ask yourself the question of what can I do? Can I do a video a day about the product? A 30-second video, a 10-second video about the product? Can I wash my hair a couple times a week and get familiar with the product that way? Can I talk to people at the park about the hair products that I use? Like, can you do that? Ask yourself that question and jump in, you guys. We are here to help you. Amanda and I are here to help you. There's never, don't wait, okay? She got her car within, gosh, I don't even know how many months. 10 months of doing this business, you guys. She got a car. And here we are. We both have, first of all, my husband is a former Marine. Her husband is a Marine. I'm like telling my husband, I'm like, babe, I'll be right back. It was late. It was like 10 o'clock at night. She's got 4 kids at home. They've been at the car dealership all day. I come driving up to her house to see her.
You were pregnant, right?
You
were pregnant with Braylon.
Yeah. I was pregnant. And
it was March. I got my car in March of 2023.
Yes.
So Braylon was born in April.
Yes. I put the kids down. I put Barley and Mila down to sleep. And then I drove over there late at night to see her new car. Anyways, you guys, she got her car. Okay. You guys can do that too. I have 2.
Within 10 months, she got her Monat car program Especial. What is it, a Mercedes? Oh gosh. Yeah. Interesante, okay? Muy interesante. So she says she started with nothing, but then within 10 months, and maybe she just a go-getter. Maybe just everyone just vibed off Amanda real hard. I don't know, but it seems a little fishy to me. No comprehendo. Lo siento, señoritas. Okay, let's continue. I don't know how much longer we have because I'm doing this on the desktop and it never gels me.
Now, pay for vehicles for money. I'm sitting in my kitchen, my home. My entire life has changed because of this business. And you guys can do that too, and we're here to help you. And you don't have to dream that big at first. I didn't. I just was like, I need to pay for my home birth. I need to pay for my home birth. I want to pay for it. 2020, everything's crazy. I don't know what's going on. I just need to pay for my home birth. That's it. That's what I did. And then we started
I was like, debt. I was like, get me out of credit card debt. It's normal to be in credit card debt, but it's not. It's normalized, but it's not normal. And for me, I just felt crushing. And I'm like, okay, what can I do? Again, what can I do while my husband's away at work? Because he wasn't even thinking I'll do DoorDash on the weekend. I'll deliver pizzas. I'm like, no. Nice. He's an officer in the military. He went to college. He did all the right things, right? And here I am. I'm like, how did we get here? And so I might have been like, yeah, babe, sounds good. Bye. Or I could have been like, what can I do at the time I'm on my phone? So many people, Ivy, say, I don't have time. Look at your screen time. What are you on your phone for an hour a day? Literally, do you know how much you can get done in an hour? A lot.
Yeah.
Do you know how much your brain needs to shut down for a little while, especially when you've got 5 kiddos running around? And if she doesn't, everyone's different, right? Everyone's level of what they can handle and what they can't handle is very different. And when we play this comparison game of, well, they were able to do it, so I should be able to, it's always going to end up bad news bears. Okay, bad news bears, because of the fact that we have no idea all the other facets, what kind of, way their brain is wired. There's just so much more that goes into it. So never compare yourself and your capability and your 1 hour of downtime. What can I get done in that time? Yeah, I can get a lot done in an hour. And also, I can sit my booty down and be enjoying myself for an hour. All of those are great and fantastic, and one of them is great for your nervous system too. It's great to reduce cortisol, it's great for your hormones. There's a million things which rest and relaxation is important for. And rest is not something you have to earn. Rest is something your body needs, your body deserves, your body should have. And when huns like these, they're talking about they kept going and like, what are you doing for an hour? And like all of this stuff, it's creating that hustle culture, which once again, does Ivy's Instagram of them picking flowers and like skipping through the fields with their family, does that say hustle culture? No, it doesn't. But the fact of the matter is that every single one of those is curated. Every single one of those is she had to fuss with her kids. She had to say, if you don't put on this outfit right now and smile for the camera. Like, how many people have been in photo shoots with their family where it is an absolute nightmare, and yet this is what we see. All of this to say that their little, all I wanted to do is just, pay off this or afford groceries. Guess what? Your income disclosure in Monat says you're not going to be able to do any of that. Anything. Not a dang thing. Okay? Sorry. They're playing pretend right now, like it's so great and you can be successful too, and if you just hustle hard enough, but also don't worry, it's not that crazy, you can just relax whenever you want to. All these things go into this big, ironic jumble-wumble of the fact that MLMs are pyramid schemes. It's crazy, I know. Could you believe it? And if you don't believe me, that's fine. Go look at the FTC link down below. She'll get you right, girl.
We have actual power hours that you will tell you in 1 hour is exactly what you're going to.
Oh, not the power hours. Please, no. No. The power hours. You guys know, I've been watching anti-MLM content for forever. And some of my favorite / least favorite are power hours because they're so cringe. They're the cringiest cringe. If you don't know, Power Hour is where they literally sit there on a Zoom together, all of them, messaging people, posting things, putting out an information, curiosity post, blah, blah, blah. Listen, 99% of those people are going to get zero traction. They're going to get one like from their aunt who thinks that everything they do is just wonderful schmonderful, okay? But like, it's not going to get you anywhere. You're not going to make any money off of it. I'm sorry, not sorry. Ooh, she's so feisty. Oh, girl.
To do to be productive in your business.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
Are you consuming or are you creating on your phone right now? Because if you're watching this right now and you're not currently making money every single Friday and every 15th of the month, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Even if you're on...
Oh, so life's all about money. Okay, great. Well, guess what, Ivy? I don't have a need to make any money, so I can sit here and create content and make $0 and be okay with it. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. So feisty. People's hopes and dreams are out there. They're wanting to just make a better life. They're wanting to pay off their debt. They're wanting to be able to afford things. They're wanting to be able to make a better life for themselves and their family. And we've got Miss Ivy here taking advantage of that so you can be her down low so that she can get money. But ultimately, you will not.
On this app, and maybe you're doing brand deals, or maybe you're doing a couple deals here and there, or maybe you're doing affiliate links or whatever. You guys, I guarantee you, it doesn't even scratch the surface of what this girl, I don't know why I'm holding this, but what this girl made this month. Guarantee it doesn't even scratch the surface of what she made. And we don't even go into what I made. Because
I did my first brand deal a few months ago, and I'm like, why do people do these? And it was a very aligned brand deal. It really wasn't that bad, but in action, like doing it, the time, I'm like, I should have charged 5 times the amount that and it was a $2,000 deal. And that was my first deal at $2,000. And people would be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And I'm like, I mean, for the time I put into it, not really. Like, it was annoying. And by the end of it, I was like, I don't even want, like, I'm done. I don't need that's like $2,000 like a drop in the bucket. Okay. Like, I don't get it.
And the emotional and mental energy it takes, especially as a mom, to pour into something like that too. And $2,000 is a lot of money. I'm not gonna, you guys, I don't want to knock that, but you can make
Relative?
a lot.
Relative to what we make, $2,000 is not a lot of money. Okay, so like.
Okay, $2,000, you say, Amanda and Ivy. Let's actually look at Monat's income disclosure statement because this is getting absolutely ridiculous. It's just a drop in the bucket. Stop it. Knock it off. Monat USA 2024 income disclosure statement. 94.27% of the company had a median annual gross earning of $19. Oh, but $2,000 is a drop in the bucket. Oh my goodness. Well, I just want to put this in perspective so we are all on the same página. Por favor. Por favor. Only the top 0.26% of the company that make more than California's full-time McDonald's workers. 0.26%. What? And guess what? 0.26%, guess how many ranks that is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranks make up the top 0.26%. But $2,000 is just a drop in the bucket. So feisty. If you don't know, California has a minimum wage for its fast food workers of $20. Fast food workers be working their tails off, okay? They be getting me my McFlurry and my spicy McChicken to me, looking luscious, and I love them so much. So I'm so glad and happy for them that they get that amount of money. However, that is $41,000 per year. $41,000 per year. Would you say that $2,000 for one brand deal is just a drop in the bucket if you are at the top 0.26% of Monat? Would you not say that they are acting like this is everyone at the top is just, oh, $2,000, no big deal. But of course, they don't want to tell anyone that even if you're in the 0.26% of the company, you are only making $40K a year, and that is prior to expenses, taxes, etc. Monations events, all of those things. If I haven't already said it in this video, I have a profit and loss statement down below that is designed for multi-level marketing recruits. It says nothing about anti-MLM in there, and it's designed for them to calculate all of their expenses and all of their revenue and find out what their actual profit was. And it goes even further to say how much they're making per hour. Because cool, you made $1,000, but okay, you spent 500 hours per year doing that, which means you made $2 an hour. Anybody got time? So yeah, these ladies talking about their $2,000 as a drop in the bucket, when the fact is that the very, very tippity top, only 5 levels from the top, 0.26 top percent of the company, you're not even top 1%, you're top 0.26% of the company, is only making $2,000 every 2 to 3 weeks. Sorry. But oh, the brand deal, so hard. So hard. Let's let them continue. Lo siento para mi español. So, quick funny fact is that I learned a ton of Spanish at my old job, and I learned it from coworkers and customers alike, because if there wasn't someone available, I wanted to be able to be an additional person to help them out, just with small things if possible. I was able to get those main phrases down like well enough where it sounded like I kind of knew what I was talking about, and so they would start just speaking to me in Spanish, and I'm like, lo siento, no entiendo. My bad, my beef. But some of the things that I would say is, let's see. Una persona para españoles no disponible ahora mismo. En 30 minutos, una persona para ustedes disponible? They'd be like, okay, but aren't you available right now? Like, you're speaking Spanish to me. If you don't know, I just said a person for Spanish is not available right now, but in about 30 minutes, a person will be available for you. And they would just start going, and I'm like, eh. So then I just started having to say it with my little white girl accent. Una persona para español es no disponible ahora mismo. Anyhow.
It's nothing.
Literally nothing.
And we don't say that again, not to brag
Literally
or anything, but it's
nothing.
like that is what is possible. And that is ultimately why I joined. I'm like, hey, this girl's making 5 figures a month. If I can do literally 10% of what she's doing, that's gonna be a win for me. And it's just crazy. We're just getting started, right? Like I'm making income that at one point I was like, oh my gosh, that would be like, that's my dream number, right? And now it's like, no, like that, okay, I did that next. Like we can double that, we can triple that, we can like that's sales is key. Sales is like a life hack. And once you learn it, you guys, your income for us, at least our jobs, like it's not capped. We don't have a cap on our income. We can make as much money as we want to make. We make more sales, we help more people. And that's really, if you're like, well, how do you make money off your girls? No, we when our girls succeed, we succeed. Ivy's making a lot of money because she has a lot of women like me under her that are also making a lot of money. So it's like, it's so ethical. And I think that's the thing too. I feel like some people might be weary of like, well, I don't want to make money off of people. It's like our partners don't have monthly orders. They don't have quotas. And even if they do order, we don't make commissions on that. We only make commissions on customer orders. So you guys, I'm telling you, any objection that you're like, I don't know, it's not what you think it is. It's
Oh, darn it.
okay.
Gosh, well, that's a bummer. I can't believe I just did that. Oh, well, it looks like we might not be able to finish that specific one, but I have been filming for an hour and 20 minutes, so I think we have plenty of content, hopefully. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for challenging these things that often look so cutesy, so demurtsy, but they aren't. They are hurting, they are scamming so many incredible people who are just wanting to better themselves. So thank you so much for bringing awareness to this. Thank you for having fun with me on this. And remember, Jesus flipped tables on scammers in the temples, so we will too. You have a great rest of your day. Bye.